This maple is a failure due to snow load exposing a defect. The defect, you can see included bark on the branch on the ground at the point where the break stops, and from this side you can see the stem that's still up there with included bark. The failure started at the included bark, but the tear continued down to the crotch. Doesn't mean that this entire tree needs to be removed, but it could be cleaned up, and it would not hurt for cabling to be put in for the two remaining branches going in opposite directions, primarily to get some of the load that is headed toward the house. Included bark, if you can see this joint straight ahead of me, how it is rounded, that is not included. But this other one, how it goes in like a V, and you can see the seam going down the trunk, that is included bark. It presents a weakness. This is an example of included bark where the branch had failed, probably under snow load. Example of a white pine that was leaning. No, this is a spruce. And finally it's broken off under snow load and come over. Good reason to keep an eye on your trees and take care of the weakness. Fortunately, there was no target in the sense of where it was leaning. You can see the upward curve. That was part of a correction that the tree had made after it had started leaning. This white pine here, kind of late in the day for it, but as you can see from the other pictures, we had quite a bit of snow earlier, and you can see the broken branches on the ground. You can see a hanger on the tip of another one. This isn't a matter of defect, it's a matter of characteristic. Some trees tend to be brittle. There's a technique that I've been employing with more trees where we take the tips that are extending beyond the other branches and move them back. We cut some of them off, leaving other foliage that's closer to the trunk so that there is less leverage. Generally what happens is the branch on top, as it becomes loaded, will rest on the one beneath, and so on and so on, all the way down the tree. When one does not have that support from underneath, or when the load is sufficient enough, it can break not only one, but several, similar to a domino effect. Certified arborists are educated and qualified to assist in selecting tree species and also helping to mitigate this challenge to try to preserve a tree, but also to try to manage the risk in a way that people can live and be near trees. So my recommendation is to have a certified arborist come and assist you with selecting and caring for the trees that are in your life, whether it be at a business property or residential. A lot of us get trees, the term may be we've inherited them with the property, and I am not against having older trees, the older, larger trees are the ones that give us the most benefit. But trying to find a balance between the older, mature trees that we have on our properties and the ideal trees to bring into those properties to enhance. Unfortunately, a lot of people have gone to the measure of, out of fear, removing all or most trees that are anywhere near their property. So if they fail, generally speaking, these white pines, in many cases on the snow load, it isn't a matter of them toppling over. It's a matter of them losing all or most of their branches one by one. If you look closely, you can see large stubs where branches have broken off, probably about the 3 to 4 foot level from the trunk, and those stubs remaining are an indicator where the snow load has been more than the tree could handle in that location. Again, consider hiring a certified arborist at the very least to do a tree risk assessment. This is a qualification that is put out by the International Society of Arboriculture. It is a system by which to evaluate trees to help determine risk. This is an example of what I was sharing for as far as snow load and how it can start at the top as branches are loaded down and one branch fails, transferring that weight to the next branch and so on, continuing to break. This being another white pine, a snow load situation. It's a possibility if the tips were reduced so that all that weight wouldn't have collected. But again, it's the species being brittle that allows this to happen.